We are now in closed session, and I will ask if there's any disclosure of pecuniary interest. And seeing none, if one should arise during the meeting, you may declare it then. The first item is the adoption of the closed meeting minutes from November 3rd. I need a mover and seconder for that. Councillor Sackle and Councillor Hawking, all in favor? That is carried. Brandon, are you voting in favor or you had a question?
I have a question, and Vicky can tell me if this is not allowed, but just wondering, now that the bylaw went through, what is the messaging around the reason why that land was purchased?
Was it purchased?
You just did so tonight.
Because that is a matter not on the agenda in closed, we are not able to discuss it in the closed meeting. But if you have a question related to that, certainly you could email Sherry and we can respond to all of council.
So can I ask, will we be receiving maybe a verbal update at the next closed meeting? I think it would be good.
With respect to
the purchase.
I can send out an email tomorrow accordingly.
Okay.
I would say if you reference your past report from the past meeting, council direction was followed accordingly.
Okay. An email would be good. Okay. All right, so we have those minutes approved. Did I say all in favor? Okay, all in favor of adopting these minutes. That's carried. Item 3 is reports and correspondence. 3.1, this is report CAO 2325. It's the follow-up on the Brockton servicing request for 52 Concession 2 South Durham Road, and it's from our CAO, Sherry. So all yours.
Thank you. Sorry, I think I'm going to work from my computers here and I just got to get ahead to that report. So this, we've been dealing with this on an ongoing basis over the last couple of years, really and truly. The last time we dealt with it was at the October 6th meeting when council received report CAO-19-25 Brockton servicing request for 52 Concession 2 SDR, which is the Davis property. I've included that report again because it's got all the background and the history accordingly. And at that time, council's direction was that we reply to Brockton with a response that we're considering their direction, and a follow-up response will be provided once determined. One of the nuances of the report coming forward on October 6th is that the mutual prosperity boundary adjustment direction and next steps was not public at that time. Those aspects are now public accordingly. So given that our reply indicated that we would provide follow-up response, it is prudent for the town to consider and provide a response. As I noted at the time, our mutual prosperity boundary adjustment work was not public, but now it is. And we have received correspondence directly from the property owners in early November, and they were advising us that they're proceeding with their works accordingly, which is to complete a needs assessment study, and that they would wanted to thank us in advance for our cooperation with our consultants in this matter. To my knowledge, we have not been contacted by the consultants. Andrew's aware of this because if anybody that they're going to reach out to, I think it will be through our infrastructure and development staff. So he's aware of this communication. The Brockton letter dated September 4th, which was included in the package again, requests that the town of Hanover's agreement to engage in constructive and collaborative discussions with respect to a servicing agreement for the development of the property at 52 Concession 2, SDR. The number of options you have available to you now are a little bit more expanded since you saw than you saw on October 6th. And again, that's due to the fact that we can now indicate in public that we have other things going on with respect to growth. So the options, there's five. I've unfortunately mislabeled option C as option D. So I do apologize for that error. But option A is to indicate a willingness to engage in constructive and collaborative discussions that considers all options for a mutually beneficial partnership that move this effort forward, and that will include shared servicing, boundary adjustment, and other options that may come forward during the discussion consideration, and that we would desire to explore all options through meaningful discussions. Specifically, that indicates that we aren't just interested in a shared servicing conversation. It needs to include all things. Option B is that we indicate a willingness to engage in constructive and collaborative discussions that considers a mutually beneficial partnership that moves this effort forward, with discussion option to only include boundary adjustment. Option C, which is mislabeled as I noted, is to respectfully decline interest in exploring discussions with respect to shared servicing agreements at this time, given our recent joint in principle mutual prosperity boundary adjustment announcement with the municipality of West Grey. Our political and staff resources and attention need to be focused on moving this process forward. Option D would be to decline interest in exploring discussions with respect to shared servicing agreements, or option E, should there be other responses that council would like to share and support, then staff would share that accordingly. So the purpose of tonight's report is to seek your direction with respect to a follow-up response to be provided to the municipality of Brockton. There are no financial implications with respect to this report at this time, and the various reports that have come forward to you previously about this property, as well as the correspondence that we've received of late, is included more for your reference and knowledge forward. So it was quick at your hands and eyes rather than have to dig back through past reports. Be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you. Who wants to start? Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Your Worship. You go from nothing to everything. I don't know the staffing availability, but I'm suggesting or thinking it's likely more than we can take on right now. As much as it's a nice fit, but there is a lot of challenges with it being county boundaries and all of those good things. I feel we should likely just focus on what we have for the time being. And our capacity at the wastewater treatment plant is also getting very concerning, I guess you'd say. So I think, if we can finalize the West Grey one, I think that's where we should focus our efforts right now, and thank them for their interest. But I have no interest in a shared services agreement. If it was anything, it would have to be a boundary adjustment, but I think even that's taking on more than we likely have the ability to handle at this time. So I guess it would just be declining for my take.
Thank you. Councillor Hawking.
I support Deputy Mayor Dickert's statements. I too am not interested in shared services. It was raised in our discussions with West Grey, and we flatly said no. So I don't think it would be proper for us to entertain shared services. And if you read the material from Brockton, that's what they're saying, shared services, a service agreement. So I think this is going to take a lengthy discussion because I could see it's coming from two different points of view. For my information, I just went through and asked staff to calculate what. So I read it was 212 residents. So I said, suppose it's $500,000 assessment and our current rate. I believe we were going to get close to $1.2 million in taxes if the property was ours. So if it's Brockton's, you just kiss that goodbye. If we had double services, or sorry, services to an outlying municipality where we charge the extra rate, I think we would net, I think if I remember correct, $380,000 in sewage and water rates. So if we had them within our boundaries, we would have the 1.2 million plus we would then also, we wouldn't have the double water rates. So, but it's a lot of revenue. It's fraught with confusion. If it's in Brockton, you know, you're looking at winter maintenance, you're looking at, you know, garbage pickup and all of that stuff. So I personally think from reading their documents, this is going to be a lengthy discussion. It took us over 2 years with West Gray. I would probably say it's probably something the new council the following year could look at and delay and just get our ducks in order with regard to hopefully the proposed land deal that we're going to discuss on Wednesday night. So I guess in a long-winded answer, ditto to Deputy Mayor Dickard. But just giving you some idea of down the road that you need to look at sort of other issues than just shared services. Thank you.
Go ahead, Sherry.
I just want to, and Councillor Hawking is correct. Those numbers were provided as estimates. I just want to ensure that council is clear, and I support the not shared services. There are times shared services might make sense, and I don't want people to think we should never do shared services. Correct? That was a one-off. But the other thing is some of the things that we have seen of late with shared service agreements is that there is shared assessment. So it's not that you're not getting that assessment, that would be part of the negotiation. So I don't want you thinking, well, shared services, you don't get anything. That would be part of the negotiation and conversation. And there definitely are examples out there of shared service agreements where you share in some of the assessment accordingly.
Thank you.
Other comments? Councillor Sacco.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm in agreement with everything that's been stated so far. I just want to ensure that when we do write our letter, that we don't burn any bridges. We want to keep a good relationship with Brockton for a variety of reasons, just to have a good relationship with your municipality. They are certainly not going to be shocked when we're dealing with such a big boundary adjustment with West Gray. To see a negative response to this, but we do have to, I think, word it in a soft way, if you will.
Go ahead, Councillor Hudson.
Just to get a bit of this into perspective, what sort of a workload would it be to do a boundary adjustment on this piece?
I don't even know if I have a great answer for that, to be honest. What we have been dealing with West Gray has been nothing short of significant workload, quite honestly. This is a bit smaller size. I think it's a lot more, my overall assessment is it's a lot more, like it's smaller in size, it's residential only. So it maybe will be a little less nuanced, so to speak. However, the county piece, as I think Deputy Mayor mentioned, I'm not sure what's all included with that. We didn't have to deal with that with the West Gray, right? We're staying within Gray County. So I'm not sure what that would look like and whether there's some other factors that would come to play with that. I'm no expert on boundary adjustment. I've learned with Mayor Sue and Councillor Hawking through this process. But it's an immense amount of time and still is still going to be, quite honestly. So it's not a real great answer. I get that. Plus, you have to have a willing partner come to the table. They're willing from a shared services perspective. We're willing maybe from a boundary adjustment perspective. Is that enough of a spark to get us to the table and then explore what all those options are? But honestly, I think it would take a third-party facilitator to help with that because that's proven to be really essential to our work with West Gray. And initially that was the county staff and it became Luigi Presta as well, who was affiliated with the county. So again, it would take some of that to occur.
So it's kind of the time and effort versus the win that it could possibly be. Maybe don't balance out that greatly. Okay, thank you.
Like it depends on, is it shared or is it a hybrid? Or does the boundary line change?
Mhm.
And then each one opens up different avenues going down those. The negotiation is in itself is difficult. That's like we know what we want, they know what they want.
So the shared services would be simpler if, in fact, it would be of any interest to any of the parties, and with the thought process that perhaps it wouldn't just be services, but it could be, as Sherry had mentioned.
So my thoughts on shared services, first of all, it's not a benefit to the town on
Mhm.
strictly services, but it may jeopardize our relationship with West Gray. Because we were adamant
Mhm.
we were not doing shared services. And now to go through this proposal and turn around and say, oh yeah, we'll do shared services with Brockton, we're going to lose all our trust. And it is very sensitive, that trust relationship.
Mhm. I'm just trying to, clarify it in my mind. Thank you.
Councillor Hawking, then, or Councillor Cable, then Councillor Hawking.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm in favor of option B, to express a willingness to engage in discussions, which would only revolve around boundary adjustment. I just wonder if the timing piece is the issue, right? Because it's already been November, and so we're going to be easily into 2026 fairly soon. So I certainly would be all right with the idea of declining at this time, just given the time-sensitive nature and the fact that we know that these discussions are going to take longer and will end up overlapping into another council term.
Thank you. Councillor Hawking?
Thank you, Your Worship. A main difference is the property is owned by one party, where West Gray was number of properties. And the person who owns the property has been on this for years to try and get it developed because of his interest to enhance the subdivision. So that's one less sort of obstacle you have because it's just one person. And I think if you really got down to it, it's his main interest as opposed to Brockton's interest. I don't think they would care one way or the other, really. They're not looking at as a need to develop residential area within their municipality because all theirs is sort of focused around Walkerton. So it's sort of an offshoot. So I think they're trying to entertain a ratepayer's interest because the services, they're right there. So it wouldn't be a big deal to run services, both sanitary and water. But it's the whole principle of the thing. And I support Mayor Sue, and we were very, very determined that we weren't going to get into shared services. In fact, we were told by other CAOs and resource people, other staff, do not do that because you do lose all control of the future of your municipality. So unless Brockton is willing to negotiate some type of benefit that's meets our needs, I think you're going to be a long time discussing this.
Okay, before I go to Deputy Mayor, Sherry has a comment.
Just, yeah, and there is more than one property owner, but there wouldn't be many more because I think the Crispins own some property there as well. Like it's not just, but George Davis is the primary property owner. There
Tina.
might be a couple. So I agree. And, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with council saying, you know, we decline at this time. Our attention and focus needs to be on our recently announced mutual prosperity and, you know, suggest you recontact us following the election in 2026. That would be an appropriate response rather than a strict no as said, or a straight no.
Deputy Mayor?
Just further to the wastewater treatment plant capacity, was that any part of the discussions with West Gray that, you know, we can accommodate some of this at this point in time? Whereas if we take another 200 and some units out of our capacity, like we're on the edge now, you know, based on the reports we see, and to take 220 units or whatever it is in that development, I think also negatively affects our ability to do commercial or whatever to the east, is it not?
Sherry?
We definitely, at a broad level, we spoke about wastewater treatment plant capacity, but that we were taking steps to address that. The re-rating work that we're doing right now is going to help us. And then obviously, as we work to wastewater treatment plant expansion, that's really our next big step to help us entirely. So it was certainly mentioned about our capacity, but that we were actively taking steps to mitigate that, I guess I would say.
That will be a question Wednesday night, I'm sure. Can Hanover handle it, right? So, anything further, Deputy Mayor?
I just wondered if there was any calculations or estimates done with the 1,600 acres. If that was to fully develop, I'm assuming we don't have capacity to even do that at this point in time.
We have a high level servicing plan that includes water, sanitary, and road construction that Coblite provided to us. And so it lets us know, do we need another pumping station, et cetera, but not to the calculations of what type of capacity that would be required, because we don't have the details of, you know, is it this many homes and this many commercial? And I think we tend to do those more on as we receive them, because we've got specifics to be able to do that. So we didn't get to that finite detail, but we've got a broad servicing phased in plan option.
And we're not going to service all 1,600 acres. It'll be in phases. So we should be able to manage that. We will be able to manage that. There's no shoulds. We need to. Okay, anything further? Councillor Hudson.
Thank you, Your Worship. So can we utilize option B with some of those things in the discussion that, you know, we have to look after this, so it won't be immediate. It could be a year and a half down the road before we can engage in a conversation about this again. Can that be part of a letter that goes out to them instead of a direct no?
Well, it wasn't going to be a direct no. It was going to be a call us later.
Similar to letters we've received in the past, if I may say so. I might be able to use one of those as an example. I think the challenge with as much as option B is on here, you know, as staff, we have to provide you with some options to get you thinking. And so what I'm sort of hearing from the group is a bit of a combination of some of the content. I think it would not be prudent of this council to commit to, we just want to talk about boundary adjustment when we do have a municipal election down, you know, a year down the road. As I said, I think the better option, if council supports this, is to say thank you. At this time, we're not prepared to engage in conversations with respect to opportunities for this property, given our recent announcements and the work, both politically and staff-wise, that are going to be required there. As Councillor Cable mentioned, as this will take some time, that will, be more than this current term of council, it's suggested that they reach out to us in a year, approximately. To get that, Vicky? Kidding. Close. Just so I don't have to write this letter tomorrow. But that's what I would suggest, because it's really not, we're saying no, not right now, but not locking ourselves into any specific direction either.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other comments, discussion? I think we covered it. That's sort of a combination of all of it. So Vicky is writing furiously here. So I need a mover and seconder for direction. Right, Vicky?
Yes.
So I have Deputy Mayor Dickert and Councillor Hawking. So all in favor of what Sherry said?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the one good thing is it's recorded, so
Yes.
could go
That's a good
back and
point.
get those words. So, yes.
Sorry, I didn't catch who moved and seconded that. though.
Deputy Mayor Dickert moved it. Councillor Hawking seconded
Thank you.
the direction. See, I'm right on it now this time. Okay, so that's the closed meeting, right? There's nothing else. So I need a mover and seconder to adjourn the closed meeting at 4:49. Councillor Hudson and Councillor Sacco, all in favor? That is carried. So we'll